Welcome back everyone. Today, we're taking a close look at KPIT Technologies Limited. They're a significant player in the tech space, especially focusing on software for the automotive and mobility industry. Think electric vehicles, autonomous driving, that sort of thing.
That's right. They position themselves as an integration partner, helping mobility leapfrog towards a clean, smart, and safe future. They specialize in embedded software, AI, and digital solutions. Headquartered in Pune, India, they have engineering centers globally: Europe, the USA, Japan, China, Thailand, and India. They also have several subsidiaries and JVs, including the recently acquired Path Partner Technology, and are involved in ventures like Corix with ZF and Qualcomm.
Sounds like they're right in the middle of the EV and smart car revolution. So they've released their audited financial results for the quarter and the full financial year ended March 31st, 2025. The board meeting was held on April 28, 2025. We'll be looking at both the consolidated and standalone figures today. Let's start with the big picture, revenue and profits for the full year. How did they fare comparing this year to last year?
Okay, let's dive into the consolidated numbers first for the full year ended March 31st, 2025. Revenue from operations came in strong at 5,842.35 crore rupees. That's a solid jump from the 4,871.54 crore rupees they reported for the year ended March 31st, 2024.
Nice growth on the top line. How did that translate to the bottom line?
Profit before tax, or PBT, for the year was 1,132.55 crore rupees, significantly up from 800.44 crore rupees last year. And the profit after tax, or PAT, also showed healthy growth, landing at 839.60 crore rupees compared to 598.51 crore rupees in the previous financial year.
So strong growth across the board on the consolidated front, revenue, PBT and PAT, all moving nicely upwards year over year. What about the standalone picture for the full year? Does it tell a similar story?
It does generally. Standalone revenue from operations for the year ended March 31st, 2025 was 2,563.93 crore rupees, up from 2,016.60 crore rupees the previous year. Standalone PBT was 636.11 crore rupees compared to 438.05 crore rupees last year. And standalone PAT grew to 481.84 crore rupees from 326.83 crore rupees. So yes, healthy growth on the standalone side too.
That's good to see consistency. How does the earnings per share or EPS look? Usually based on consolidated, right?
Correct. The consolidated basic EPS for the year ended March 31st, 2025 stood at 30.93 rupees, which is a nice increase from the 21.95 rupees reported for the previous year. Diluted EPS also followed suit, coming in at 30.70 rupees compared to 21.77 rupees.
Okay, before we move on, you mentioned revenue and profit. Was significant other income impacting these results, either consolidated or standalone?
Yes, definitely. Consolidated other income for the year was quite substantial at 167.32 crore rupees, way up from 60.27 crore rupees last year. Standalone other income was also significant at 82.00 crore rupees, up from 68.61 crore rupees. Looking at the notes, specifically notes 6 and 7 on the consolidated results, this jump includes significant one-time gains related to their joint venture Corix, involving derecognition of assets liabilities, transfer of IPs when ZF invested, and gain on dilution when Qualcomm invested. There was also a one-time gain from an insurance claim settlement mentioned in Note 7, amounting to 45 crore rupees. These definitely boosted the overall profit figures.
Right, those are important one-off items boosting the other income and consequently the PBT and PAT. Good context. What about profitability margins then? Considering the revenue growth and these other income factors?
Looking at the net profit margins, consolidated PAT as a percentage of revenue from operations was about 14.37% for this year, up from about 12.29% last year. Standalone net profit margin was even higher, around 18.79% this year, compared to about 16.21% last year. So, margins improved year over year for both, and the standalone business appears to operate at a higher margin level than the consolidated average, though the one-time gains certainly helped the consolidated bottom line significantly this year.
Any other exceptional items reported apart from those contributing to other income?
The report doesn't specifically list items under the exceptional items heading in the main statement of profit and loss. However, as we just discussed, the gains detailed in Notes 6 and 7 related to Qorix and the insurance settlement are significant non-recurring events that heavily influence the other income and overall profitability for the year. So while not labeled exceptional, they certainly had an exceptional impact.
Understood. Let's shift slightly to the balance sheet. Any key takeaways from the assets or liabilities, comparing consolidated and standalone, or year-over-year changes?
On the consolidated side, total assets grew to 5,032.96 crore rupees as of March 31st, 2025, up from 4,167.90 crore rupees the previous year. Total equity also increased substantially to 2,912.16 crore rupees from 2,162.97 crore rupees. Standalone total assets were 2,533.46 crore rupees versus 2,152.66 crore rupees, and standalone total equity was 1,951.86 crore rupees compared to 1,602.05 crore rupees. The growth reflects the overall business expansion and profitability. One minor point to note, highlighted in a separate filing, is a small difference in the reported paid-up equity share capital between the shareholding pattern filing and the financial results, about 2.44 crore rupees. This is simply due to the consolidation of the Employee Welfare Trust holding shares, which get eliminated in the consolidated financials. It's an accounting technicality.
Okay, good clarification. What about cash flow? Any highlights from the consolidated cash flow statement? And did they mention dividends?
Yes, the consolidated cash flow statement is provided. For the year ended March 31st, 2025, net cash generated from operating activities was strong at 1,389.53 crore rupees, up from 1,001.77 crore rupees last year. Net cash used in investing activities was 629.88 crore rupees, slightly higher than last year's 563.70 crore rupees used, likely reflecting investments and acquisitions. Net cash used in financing activities was 342.44 crore rupees. Overall, they saw a healthy net increase in cash and cash equivalents of 417.22 crore rupees for the year. And importantly, the board has recommended a final dividend of 6.00 rupees per equity share for the financial year 2024-25, subject to shareholder approval.
Strong operating cash flow and a dividend recommendation. Sounds positive. Now KPIT operates globally. How did the different geographical segments perform according to the consolidated results?
Looking at the full year segment performance, Americas revenue grew slightly to 1,630.27 crore rupees from 1,544.12 crore rupees. However, the profit before tax and interest for this segment actually decreased to 375.92 crore rupees from 450.14 crore rupees last year. UK and Europe showed good growth. Revenue increased to 2,913.48 crore rupees from 2,638.14 crore rupees. Profit before tax and interest also rose nicely to 632.90 crore rupees from 531.10 crore rupees. Rest of the world, this segment saw very strong growth. Revenue jumped to 3,003.98 crore rupees from 2,284.69 crore rupees. Profit before tax and interest more than kept pace, increasing significantly to 538.07 crore rupees from 311.54 crore rupees.
Interesting. So while America saw revenue grow, profitability dipped. UK and Europe, the largest revenue segment, showed solid growth in both revenue and profit. And rest of the world seems to be a key growth engine currently, with strong performance on both fronts.
Exactly. It highlights the importance of their diverse geographical presence, though the dip in America's profitability warrants attention.
So summarizing the overall performance, it seems like a strong year for KPIT, both consolidated and standalone, with significant growth year over year, aided partly by one-time gains.
Yes, the underlying trend appears positive with robust top-line and bottom-line growth. The margin improvements are encouraging, even factoring in the one-off gains in other income. Efficiency and the strong performance in Europe and the rest of the world segments seem to be key drivers.
Were there any other significant events or notes mentioned in the report that investors should be aware of?
Quite a few, actually. Besides the Qorix developments and the insurance claim gain we discussed, the report notes. The board approved the scheme of merger for Path Partner Technology Private Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary, with KPIT Technologies Limited to simplify structure and achieve synergies. This is subject to NCLT approval. They also initiated the voluntary liquidation and dissolution of Path Partner Technology Inc. USA, a step-down subsidiary, as its operations have been fully integrated into KPIT USA. Dr. K.R. Chandratre has been appointed as the secretarial auditor for a 5-year term, starting April 1, 2025. And Mr. Ashish Malhotra was appointed as General Counsel and Company Secretary effective April 28, 2025, following the cessation of Nida Deshpande. They also acquired an additional 13% stake in N-Dream AG during the year, taking their total holding to 26%.
Lots of corporate actions happening. Mergers, liquidations, appointments, stake increases. Shows the company is actively managing its structure and investments. Now, the crucial part, the auditor's report. What did BSR and Company LLP have to say about the consolidated and standalone results for the full year? Any qualifications or concerns?
This is a key positive. For both the consolidated financial results and the standalone financial results for the year ended March 31, 2025, the auditors, BSR and Company LLP, have issued an unmodified opinion.
Unmodified. That means a clean report, right?
Exactly. It means that in the auditor's opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view and comply with the accounting standards. They do mention their reliance on the audits conducted by other auditors for certain subsidiaries and the ESOP trust, which is standard practice in consolidated and standalone audits involving multiple entities, but the overall opinion is clean. There are no qualifications, adverse opinions, or emphasis of matter paragraphs flagging major issues.
That's definitely reassuring, especially after discussing those significant one-time gains and corporate actions. It suggests the auditors are comfortable with how everything has been accounted for. So, considering the strong growth, the strategic moves, and the clean auditor's report, what's the general outlook?
The outlook appears positive. KPIT is operating in high-growth areas like automotive software, EVS, and autonomous technology. Their strategic partnerships, like the Qorix JV with ZF and Qualcomm, position them well. The Path Partner integration should bring synergies. The consistent growth in revenue, profits, and operating cash flow, along with a clean audit report, builds confidence. Risks, of course, include successful integration of acquisitions, competition in the tech space, dependence on the global automotive market cycles, and managing growth across diverse geographies. As always, investors should consult with certified financial advisors before making any investment decisions. This discussion is for informational purposes only.
Absolutely. So, wrapping up on KPIT Technologies for the year ended March 31, 2025. Strong consolidated and standalone performance with significant year-over-year growth, boosted by one-time gains in other income related to strategic ventures like Qorix. Healthy margin improvement and strong operating cash flow generation. Key segments like Europe and rest of world are driving growth. Importantly, clean, unmodified audit reports for both sets of financials.
That sums it up well. A positive year financially, marked by significant strategic activity and backed by clean audit opinions.
Thanks for that insightful breakdown, and thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode.